Enemy claimed Zone A. Two for one. Zone A captured. Zone advantage is yours. You have zone advantage. Together as one. I love it. Double down. That's why we have fire teams. Call the Praxic Order, call the Thanatonauts, the Ginseng Scribes, call everyone so they can witness you. Your moments of clarity are weapons. Zone B captured. You have zone advantage.
Only one enemy is left. Opponents
So anyway, I'm back with another build video. I'm going to go over another old exotic, the Promethium Spur. I know a lot of people are kind of stuck up on using Starfire Protocol for good reason, and it's a great exotic, especially in this new Solar 3.0. But Promethium Spur has its moments as well. It does well in both PvE and PvP. And I'm going to just go over what the exotic does. The armor perk is Embers of Light. Defeating combatants or guardians while Daybreak is active creates a healing and empowering rift at their location. While standing in any rift, Solar Weapon Final Blows grant rift energy. When your rift energy is full, Final Blows consume your rift energy and create a healing and empowering rift at the target's location. So in short, this pair of exotic boots, what it does is it creates this healing and empowering rift wherever you kill the target. So there's an advantage of this, of course, is you don't have to go through that casting animation, which is something that kind of slows you down or gets you killed in Crucible. With this, whenever you get a kill and your rift energy is full, it automatically, creates a mini well, so to speak, at the end of where you killed your target. Of course, there's some disadvantages of this. If you're too far away and you shoot it, or it's your last enemy and you end up having to kill it, you got a rift that you don't really need. So to kind of overcome this, what I want to do is find a weapon that's kind of close, or a solar weapon that allows him for closer range for combat. So I ended up going with Lubrae's Rune. Now, the nice thing is you can craft this, you can put certain perks on it, but it's got a unique perk set that you can put together. I ended up putting on Movable Object. Here, dealing range damage grants substantially increased weapon energy while you're stationary with your shield raised. What it does, gives you more shield energy, more bang for your buck. Unstoppable Force, blocking damage with your shield increases projectile damage for an improved duration. Now, what's great is it does ramp up the damage quite a bit, and if you're sitting in your Empowering Rift or in Healing Rift, it's great in PvP. As you can see from my clips, I mean, you can one-shot a Guardian. So it makes for a nice pairing of weapons. In regards to the primary, you can use whatever you want. I like using Cataclysmic because it's another solar weapon, but it's a great linear fusion rifle. For the aspects, I'm using Touch of Flame, so you can do double damage with the fusion grenades. Also, Heat Rise is that way, since the buff, you can actually consume your grenade and do some healing as well. If you use the actual healing grenade and consume it, you actually get the benefits of both cure and restoration versus just the cure if you use fusion grenade. For the fragments, I always go with Ember of Searing just because I like having that extra melee energy when you defeat a scorched target. Also, it's nice having that plus 10 recovery. This is another one I never take off either. Ember of Torches. Powered melee attacks against combatants make you and nearby allies radiant. Freaking awesome. This one I just use primarily just for the plus 10 discipline. You can use whatever you want, tailor this however you want. Your solar ignition spreads scorch to affected targets. And this one, applying restoration, cure, or radiant to allies grants increased grenade, melee, and class ability regeneration for a short duration. The downside, of course, is the -10 discipline, so that's why I put on the Ember of Char. But Ember of Benevolence is really good, especially if you're in a team play situation like Crucible. So if you get a kill using the Promethium Spur and that rift is so far away, at least your teammate can run through it and give you the benefits of ability regeneration. But then again, this is however you want to tailor it. You can pick whatever fragments. This is my preference for this build. And also, if you're going to go all out for a healing build, I mean, you can also go with the Edge of Intent. Here, this is an exotic Glaive, and its ability, it's a hybrid, melee range polearm with frontal shield, generates energy on dealing range damage. But the perk here is Restorative Turret. When you do like a long press after you have your Glaive fully charged, when energy is full, consume it before firing to make your next shot deploy healing turret on impact. Not the greatest exotic perk, but it's a fun one to use, and it does have its moments. But I actually prefer using just this Lubrae's rune. It works really well, and like I said, the two perk combination makes Glaive use really fun. When you're using these two perks, I mean, essentially how the scenario or the cycle goes is you get your first shot off. That's why I put freehand grip on there. That way it makes it easier to get that first shot. Once you have that first shot, you've got a little bit of shield energy. So you pop your shield and then finish off your opponent because they're trying to kill you. You end up tanking the shot. In regards to armor perks, if you're going for PvP, I like still having high recovery, high discipline, and strength as well. Not so much in intellect anymore, since that's not that critical anymore for supers. And if you're playing trials, you rarely see supers anymore as well. Now, on the verse side, if you're playing PvE, I pretty much pump everything to resilience now, just because you get that 40% damage reduction. And then everything else however you want. And for this build right now, since it's more of a PvP build, it's important to use actually utility kickstart as well. You have a stasis class item. When your class ability energy is fully expended, you gain class ability energy. Big help in getting that rift energy back. Here, whatever you want to put. I put on Unflinching Glaive Loader as well, and some targeting mods. So for PvE, as I said, did a little switch up with the armor here to give you a quick look. But try and max out the resilience just for the damage reduction. For the mods, I still like going with well mods. So since I'm using like a fusion grenade, I'm using Explosive Well Maker. This way you get rapidly defeating combatants with explosive damage spawns a solar elemental well. Big help in generating those wells. Elemental charge, become charged with light by picking up an elemental well. If the elemental well's element type matches your subclass element, you gain 2 stacks of charge with light. And the reason why is because I like putting on Font of Might. When you pick up an elemental well that matches your subclass type, it grants you a temporary bonus to weapon damage of that same elemental type. Here I still have, Radiant Light, but you can easily change that to like elemental armaments or whatever you want. And then here, little note here, the big perk right now is from the artifact, Classy Restoration. You can put this on and use it with the Promethium Spur, but just to let you know, it doesn't proc when you actually kill a target and have that healing and empowering rift drop. If you wanted to use this class of restoration, you actually have to proc it yourself. Drop a rift like you normally do. But other than that, it doesn't work, unfortunately, with the empowering and healing rift that you create when you kill a target. So just keep that in mind. Of course, whatever other mods you like. Here I like, using Molten Overload for those disruptions and delaying ability regeneration, lowering combatant damage output, and Bountiful Wells, just to get those extra elemental wells. Hopefully you got something out of the video. It's a little different from using, Starfire Protocol, which is kind of the staple of Warlocks, and using Solar 3.0. It's not going to be the damage dealer like Starfire Protocol, but it's something different. It's fun. It's viable in Crucible and in PvE situations, but you gotta kind of use it a little differently. And I think a lot of people shy away from Promethium Spur just because of a few nuances or idiosyncrasies of the exotic. I think one of the biggest things, if they had fixed this or to make it better, was not make it final blows from solar weapons, or drop the rift where you're standing, not so much where at the target's location. But I guess it's all for balance's sake. And nice, as I said, you can make it work if you use like close range weapon like I did. A Glaive works really well with this build, and you get some fun plays, especially in Crucible. If you found the video helpful, please do the YouTube thing, like, subscribe, and share the video. Wasabi out.